a beautiful sky.
I can't believe they're gonna tear that plaza down.
I know, it's kind of stupid, eh?
It's gonna be hot today?
Yeah, it's gonna be up to 30.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Sun?
And then it was
No,
supposed to be rain all
Supposed to be
day.
Raining, but
Today's
I don't
gonna-
think the weather network ever gets it right.
Oh yeah.
well, maybe just hasn't.
Then right now they're saying for Saturday 36, but I'm hoping that changes. That would just be a little
The
too warm.
weekend was hot.
Yeah. Yesterday we were at the ball game. Oi.
Where?
At what's the
RCGT.
one by the train station?
Oh yeah.
Coventry Road.
Just got a little burnt, that's all.
Just a little.
You know what? This sunrise looks better on
Look the full moon.
It looks better on the phone than it does here. That's beautiful.
Trees.
Okay. Is it coming? It's raining on one spot. You can hear it. Nowhere else. There's just one spot on the road. In here. No clouds. Even when it's raining. Hi guys, White Witch 110 here. You're looking at a photo of a flower that was on our balcony a few years ago that I took a picture of. I thought I would give you this to look at while we continue on with the cabin story. Here we go. Abigail found herself back at the cabin. It had only been a few weeks, but this was home. Her father had passed away, and Melanie had moved on with her life. Abigail didn't see much of the family anymore. Mel had bought the mansion along with the business. Abigail's uncle retired to Florida. The weather was better for him there. James and his family moved to Alberta. Nicole remained in Vancouver with Brad. Sage kept the house, but spent most of his time in Toronto. Abigail had paid for the divorce. Scott was still touring, but he was now based in Calgary. Abigail spent time at the gazebo. She had closed it in and provided heat. It was here she watched the changing of the seasons, in her own life as well. She took note of the leaves shutting down in fall. The brilliant colors echoed in reflections on the water. She watched as winter's cold wind began to freeze over the bay. The shoreline grew as the flowing water was stilled on the surface. In spring, Abigail watched in anticipation the return of feathered friends. Feeders were cleaned and filled. She marveled at the baby raccoons exploring pine cones in their little paws with Mama close by. New squirrels chasing each other from tree to tree. She took in the humid air of summer that brought many memories back. The lush greens surrounding her like a canopy of an ornate four-poster bed. The sound of the bay below ever lapping against the shore. Then once again the magic of red, orange, and yellow leaves floating on the water and rushing down the driveway. It didn't hurt to be alone sometimes. The space felt good. Abigail continued to work for the mansion. On this morning, it was late spring. The sun was yet to rise. She sat in her rocker, listening to the birds calling to wake. That familiar breeze swept across the porch. Abby pulled the light gray blanket tighter around herself. Scott had spent the last year in Calgary and was far from happy. He put his condo on the market and moved back to BC. Sage was enjoying his time back east. He had bought a townhouse in Toronto. Mel came over to Abby's for dinner. "How are things?" "Things are fine. I heard one of your songs on the radio today. I felt so special to know the star singing." Mel helped himself to a burger. "I don't know why they play them. It bothers me. But your voice is amazing. I still think you should go for it." "Thank you." Abby gave Mel a hug. "Scott's coming home. He called me yesterday." "He sold his condo," Mel blurted out. "He isn't looking to move here." She pointed to the garage. "Though he had every right. I don't think so." "But why not open the invitation to come back?" Mel suggested. "Don't go there." She took a bite of her burger. "Do you miss him?" "Sometimes, but I'm glad I don't have the drama anymore. I'll be taking some time off starting next week. I'm having a staycation, redecorating the place. I want to make it mine." "Great idea. Let me know if you need help," he offered. "I should be fine, but I'll keep that in mind," she assured him. "You know, having you back here on your own scares me. Mind you, anywhere you've lived on your own scares me." "Oh, Mel, that's so sweet. I've added a security system that is monitored. There is no reason to worry." "You know, I still will. It's in my nature." The friends had a wonderful visit. Rain had begun to fall, so Mel made his tracks home. Abigail made sure the door was locked, knowing her friend would feel better. It was late evening when there was a knock on her door. Using the camera, she checked to see who it was. She didn't recognize the person. They were in a hooded raincoat. "Can I help you?" she asked through the speaker. "It's me. Can I come in?" Abigail knew the voice. She unlocked the door. "Come in." The figure entered. "Here, let me take that. I'll hang it up in the laundry room to dry." "Thanks. I wasn't sure you were home. I didn't see your car." "It's in the garage. I've taken to using it." "Would you like a tea since it's late?" she offered. "That would be nice. It's still cool in the evenings." He took a seat in the living room. "Decorating?" "Yeah, making the place more mine." "How are you besides wet?" "Doing well. Sold my condo. I'm back here." "As in here?" She pointed. "Would you mind that? My living there again." "You have every right to. It's your place. Mel would be happy to know someone else was here." "Doesn't like you on your own." "You got it." It was time to come home. "Have you heard from Sage?" Scott was curious. "No, should I have?" Abigail asked. "Guess not. He's doing very well in the business. A lot of artists are looking to him for their videos. I'd offer him to work with me, but I don't believe he would." "Now that would be interesting. My ex-husbands working together." She laughed. It felt good. "Wouldn't bother me. Does he still have a place here?" "I have no idea." They looked at each other for a few moments without a word. I have a few things to take into the apartment. No, bring your stuff in here. The apartment needs an airing out before you stay there. You know where the spare room is. Yes, I know it very well. Scott went out to his car and brought 2 suitcases in. He took them directly up to the guest room. Abigail said goodnight and went to bed. Sitting in her room, the battle scars showed. She was tired of making everyone happy. She was tired of smoothing things over. Her life was a constant roller coaster she hadn't enjoyed. Understandable, life is not perfect, but when would the ride be less of a struggle? Many of her dreams were never realized, and she was too tired now. In the morning, Scott resumed his usual routine. In the kitchen, he started the coffee and waited on breakfast. "Smells good," Abigail said, walking into the kitchen. "Did you want toast?" he asked. "Sure." Things got quiet. "How have you really been?" Scott buttered the toast and took a seat. "Lonely. Touring is still great. It's the private life that sucks." "I understand, of course. I've reached a point I don't want to be bothered with relationships. The years have left me battered. I don't feel like getting on that horse anymore. Being back here brought me an amazing amount of comfort. I only wish my entire life felt that way." He took a sip of coffee. "Yeah, comfort is a big thing. I haven't found it in years. I'm looking forward to the apartment again." "How's Joe?" Abigail asked. Scott laughed. "He gave up. My life was too unstable for him. The truth is, I feel freer now. I have my timetable, not someone else's. I make the arrangements for venues. I handle it all now." "Isn't that too much?" she worried out loud. "No, because I set the pace. I only take on what I feel up to. I make sure I'm making a living. But I've pulled back." "Never thought I'd hear you say that," Abigail told him. "Relieving that pressure gives you time to remember the other parts of who you are. You always say the right things. I was too stubborn at times to listen," he said. "I know." She took a seat in the living room. "Over my life, I've been with men who could not control their tempers. I allowed them to dictate portions, if not all, of my life. I always stayed quiet to make them happy, and they never thought of me. Well, they always blamed me for whatever went wrong. I was exhausted." "Why not find that right person for yourself?" he asked. "Because I'm terrible at it." "I've never blamed you," Scott pointed out. "I know, and thank you." She felt that warmth. Abigail wasn't going to drudge up the past. That's where it should stay. "Well, I'm going to get to cleaning the apartment." Scott got up. "Thanks for the evening. I've got my stuff packed. I'll be out of your hair." "It's no bother. I can help you with the cleaning." "Really, I don't mind. I have nothing planned for today." Scott accepted her help. She made nothing more of this than a helping hand. It meant nothing more. The day progressed, and the apartment looked great. With the cleaning complete, Scott thanked Abigail. He left for the grocery store. He was starting over yet again. Abby got the cabin in order and relaxed with some TV. Her phone rang around 6. "You had dinner yet?" It was Scott. "No." "Come on over. I've got it cooking." "And what if I'd said yes?" "I'd have leftovers," he laughed. "A nice homemade lasagna. layers of seasoned ground beef, wonderful sauce, and amazing cheese, a glass of rosé, and cheesecake for dessert. That was a delicious dinner. I'm glad I hadn't eaten yet. I'm glad for the company. It gets old eating alone. Can I ask a question? Abby looked at him. Sure. Did you come back to the Bay because I was here? Abigail didn't want to presume anything. Yes. It's good to be back. It feels better with you here. Time for me to head home. Abigail left, knowing where this could lead. Scott watched her cross the driveway. It was like old times. Mel, have you heard from Abby? Dan inquired as Mel sat at the bar. You know Scott is back at the apartment. I wonder if that's why. Scott said nothing is going on. They had to trust what he was saying. Mel had to see for himself, though, that Scott wasn't in the cabin. Pulling up, he clearly seen both cars on opposite sides. He walked up to the door and knocked. Mel! Just thought I'd come by. Any problems? No, come on in. He's in the apartment. He stayed in the guest room the first night. That's it. Nothing happened. She knew why Mel had come by. I feel horrible, but I had to see. He didn't stay long after he confirmed nothing was going on. Mel was on the phone to Sage once he got home. He let him know Scott was back at the apartment. You may still have a chance if you really care. Just saying. Mel was playing both sides. Why are you telling me this? I thought you were a Scott supporter. All I know is that Abby misses you, he told him. She paid for the divorce. How can you say she misses me? At least think about it. Mel hung up. And we shall leave it there for this evening. Hope you enjoyed the start of it. I've got to mark down where I was so I don't forget. Okay. So, to those of you who are new to my channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're not into listening to a story being read, please check out my other videos. I'm trying to find a pen here. I have crafting, I have the paranormal, I have haunted historic locations that I've told you about, Canadian personalities, Canadian animals, some of Canada's history. Check them out. You find anything that you like, please give it a thumbs up, drop me a comment, and share it out if you think someone else might be interested. That is always greatly appreciated. While you're here, consider becoming a subscriber. And if you do, remember to click that notification bell so you know the next time that I upload. It is a hot one here today. It felt like 104 at one point. It's clouding over. I believe we may be getting some rain. Hopefully it makes it cooler, but we have a heat warning for the next few days though. So until the next time, as always, ciao for now.